All right, guys, I'm going to give you a fast update, so pay really close attention because I might talk quickly. First thing I'll talk about is the current market conditions. We are seeing a pretty serious lull. Like, it's gotten pretty slow. There's a lot of sellers out there that are getting a little frustrated with how long things are sitting on the market. And when I say how long they are, I mean it's like 2-3 weeks, a month. It's not what they expected based on what they're seeing in the news and what their neighbors were telling them they experienced 6 months ago or back in early 2021. So we're seeing the seasonal shift. This is totally normal, but it is really quiet. So if you're a buyer out there, take advantage of this. Go buy right now, because after the new year, it's probably going to get a little crazy again. At least that's what they're saying. The second thing I'm going to talk to you guys about, the big news with Zillow, okay? Zillow canceled their iBuyer program. It's gone. What does that mean for you? Probably not a whole lot unless you were actually going to use that service, which I think statistically is about 1 in every 100 people are interested in an iBuyer program. But even more interesting is that anyone who was under contract with them, and I shouldn't say everybody, but they just dropped 400 contracts that they had and just canceled them, completely kaput. So the really crappy part about that is you might have selected them as being your really quick, easy button, and they just pulled the rug out from underneath you, and now you're kind of screwed. So there's a lot going on with Zillow and how that's all working. The best thing you guys can do as consumers is start your search with an agent, start on an MLS portal. Don't go to these third-party websites, especially Zillow, because you're buying your competition. They are fully funded by eyeballs, by how many clicks they get. They sell that ad space. If you're going to Zillow and searching for property, you are raising the prices of the market, and that's hurting you too. So that's my second point. My third point, as I come off of the Zillow conversation, you guys, if you think maybe for a second the traditional sale is not for you, please still come to us first, because we are very high integrity people. I will sit down with you, and if there's a better option than listing with us or going the traditional route, I will point you in that direction, okay? Just because you call me does not mean you need to use me. I will share everything I know with you. I will share what I think you should do, the best process, all of that. I will give that to you, whether that results in a paycheck for me or not. Okay, so now that we got that out of the way, the last thing I'm going to talk about is the outlook for the market moving forward in 2022. So obviously this is like my life. Real estate is. I eat it, breathe it, sleep it. When I'm driving, I listen to podcasts. I read about it when the kids go to bed. And everything that I've seen and heard in conversation is that 2022 is probably going to be another good year for real estate. There might be a little goofy, but overall, it's going to be really, really good. Now, the gray area is beyond that, and that's for a couple of reasons. One, I think generally speaking, no one really will ever predict a real estate market more than a year out because it's just too hard. There's just way too many factors. But that said, there's a lot of people who are kind of skeptic about where the market's going to be headed in 2023. So if you guys are looking at selling and you want to capitalize on your equity, 22 might be your year to do it. Otherwise, you might be waiting for a while if you're really trying to pull that equity out of your place, because it's possible things could cool down. We've had a lot of sellers come to us here over this holiday break saying they're preparing for the spring. So if we see a big influx of new inventory come in January, February, March, obviously that's going to cool things down a little bit. That being said, still going to be a great time to buy. We expect that the buyer demand will still exceed the inventory, and rates are still really good too. So all of that to say 2022 is probably going to be a good year. This spring is probably going to be a little hectic again, but don't sit and wait. If the numbers work for you, you should think about making a move. So if you have any questions, please drop them down below, and I hope to hear from you guys soon.